Above Leeds United, that era, you can see it tonight, the camaraderie they have and the respect for each other is far and above, and the respect you have for them is even better. It's just fantastic. There's that much love and respect in the room, and it's very, very important. But you can't have a do like this without somebody organising it. And when I found out Jim Cadman was involved in this do, I jumped at it, simply because he's the best at this sort of thing there is. He's got a passion for football. He's a Birmingham fan. But he was involved with the Tom Finney statue, involved with Tom Finney Day at Preston, magnificent tribute. He's a football fan and he loves legends. And one of his heroes was Tom Finney. He's a Birmingham fan. One of his heroes was Revie. He's a Birmingham fan. This isn't just about having a do. This is one of the most magnificent dinners I've ever been a part of. And to put that together, it takes a lot of effort, as a lot of you know, and a lot of work. And this fella does it better than anybody. You're going to have a statue to be proud of, and I promise you that. And there's a lot of other factions jumps on the bandwagon. Jim Cadman makes things happen. Please show your respect for the man who's made tonight happen. Would you welcome Jim Cadman to say a few words?
What am I trying to tell? I can't take all that in. But Countess, players and supporters of Leeds United of all ages, welcome to the Don Revie tribute. What I'm going to do now is tell you a little bit of the background. I'm also going to tell you exactly where we are with the statue, exactly where we are with locating it, and when we will unveil it. My story starts about 15 months ago. I had a telephone call from Graham Iverson, and he said, Jim, we've worked together before, I just need a little bit of help with a very special project I've been asked to do. He said, I've worked with some of the greats. I've done a statue of Cary Grant, Les Dawson, I've done Freddie Truman recently, Laurel and Hardy, I've got works in Buckingham Palace. But I've just been asked to do a statue that's made the hairs on the back of my neck tingle. It means so much to me. I said, who is it? He said, it's Don Revie. He said, I'm so excited, not only because Don Revie was the manager of Leeds United, but the fact he did so much for the city of Leeds. He was a great man, and he put Leeds back onto the map. I said, well, that's great. I love Don Revie as well, and I love the team that he put together. But what do you want me to do? He said, I'd like you to just help me put the last bit of cash together for the statue. I said, well, how much is it going to cost? He said, 90,000. I said, how much have you got? He said, I haven't got anything yet. I said, well, Graham, you probably know that's a little out of my range. But I will help you. And what I normally do with things like this is get a big company, a big brand, or a big group in the area to become involved in the project. They put the name to it, they take the sponsorship, and that's the way we get the money. So let me do that. Let me have a look around. Let me see what there is in Leeds that would help us to get the statue. So I wrote to 50 of the top companies in Leeds. I wrote to every advertising agency and marketing agency, and sad to say, I'm still waiting for the replies. But I phoned Graham back. I said, look, while I've been doing this, I've had a thought. I think I've got the group that we need. He said, who is it? I said, it's a group that Don Revie would be very proud of. I said, and they're not based in Leeds, but a lot of it takes place in Leeds, because these people are throughout the country. I said, it's an international body. I think we found a group. He said, who is it? I said, it's the Leeds United supporters. I said, because we're going to do things a little bit differently. Instead of trying to get a large sum of money from a commercial sponsor who will want to call it the Pepsi-Cola Revie statue or the Burger King statue. What we want is to create a statue that all of the fans of Leeds United can be really proud of. I'd like a statue that the fans walk past in 5 and 10 years' time and say to their children and to the grandchildren, do you know that? That is the great Revie, the man who did so much for our club. And you know what? I played a part in it. So what we did is we spoke to the players first. I had a word with Paul Reaney and told him what we wanted to do. He said, look, the players will be very supportive. And they have been. They've signed thousands of autographs. They've been all over Leeds doing functions at the various pubs and clubs we've been involved in. And the supporters, I saw key supporters. Ray Fell of the supporters camp, George, who's doing the raffle, and a wonderful job. Gary Edwards, who's a big supporter. These guys have been marvellous, and I suddenly felt part of it. And I was, you know, really given a spark to get it going. And it began to work, because we put a magazine together that reminded people exactly what a great man Revie was, and what a wonderful team the Leeds team of that era was. And I started to get a feel that the fans were behind what we're doing. We started the 1972 club, and it was supported. Fans had a small maquette of Revie. And we've got a groundswell that's growing into a night where we've got 850 fans coming here to give us the final push to get the money for the statue. So, where are we? If they'll just put the lights down for me, I'll tell you exactly where we are with the statue and exactly what we're going to do. If I could just have the lights down. And the first slide, because the statue in clay is now ready. And when at the back of the room they eventually get the slider, you'll be able to see exactly what it's like. It isn't that. Don't be frightened. That's the maquette. That was 14 inches high. This is the real thing. It's 8 foot tall. This is Revie. This is Revie, grown from the maquette from the 1972 club into an 8 foot clay statue. It will, over the coming months, be transferred into bronze. It will be a fitting tribute to a very, very great man. And Leeds supporters, I've found, are great statisticians. They can tell you who scored the goals, when they scored, and what the matches were, who they played against. I've been totally bamboozled. I asked people to do things for the magazine, and my head's still ringing with all the stats they gave me. But one statistic really comes over. Everyone was very proud of winning the 1972 FA Cup. It was a watershed for Leeds United. And you really don't need to be an historian to know that in May of next year, it will be 40 years since Leeds did that great try, till Alan Clark scored the winning goal. It's going to be an occasion to recall the wonderful achievement of Revie. And what I'd like you to do is put the date of the 3rd of May into your diary, because we'll be bringing the statue to life. It's going to be located along from the entrance to this pavilion in a specially created platform on 2 masonry steps, so that people can actually go up and touch Revie. They can actually put their arm around them. They can have the photographs taken. And it will be against the background of sky. It will be a wonderful treasure to people to come back and see Don Revie. And when you look behind the statue, you'll be able to see all of the development of the new East Stand. And I must thank the club for allowing us to put it right at the very heart of Ellen Road. When you go in the new museum development and look around at all the wondrous achievements of the Leeds players of the last century, a large part of that history will be about Don Revie. You'll be able to walk over to the window and look down and see an 8-foot statue of the Don. So ladies and gentlemen, if you will make that date, I'd like you to join me again in this area on the 3rd of May next year, when Don Revie will be coming back to Ellen Road and Leeds United. Thank you very much.
You can obviously see how much passion and pride he's got in the project, and I promise you, he's not just a good organiser, he's a good man. It looks fantastic, doesn't it? It's an absolute credit. It'll be a credit to the club. It looks magnificent. And unlike a lot of statues, it actually looks like Don, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I think it does anyway. I think it's magnificent. By the way, the sculptor, you know it's 8 foot tall. It's not. It's only about 4'6". The sculptor's only 3'2". We've got a small lad to make it look good, but he's the #1 sculptor in the country. He's done all the good ones. I'm going to have to ask Jim back now, because it's about raising money, as this do. I know we've got a few quid in the room, and we're going to have an auction now. Now, I don't like spending a long time on this. That's why they brought me in. I do it right quick. But I'm going to ask Jim back to describe the items here, because he's got them together. And I promise you, you're about to see some of the most magnificent things ever auctioned at a football auction here at Leeds United.
What we've done, ladies and gentlemen, is we've put the auction lots on the slide. And the first one is about